Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of
the Movie Men Podcast.
Yeah. You know, I've talked about wanting to change how I open the show, and I don't think creatively I have it in me.
Well, yeah, I haven't really supported you in that kind of change.
I said, hey, I want to make a change, and you just said, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, creatively, I just want to get the message across what we're doing, and I guess I just don't know if I believe in that change. So, we'll see where it takes us.
Okay, this seems like a talk for another time. Hey, and welcome.
Yes.
I'm sorry that it sounds like we're in a shopping mall right now. We'll get to that in a moment. But some housekeeping first.
Yes. Follow and subscribe across all our various platforms. I think you're
skipping over the most important. We just passed 1,000 listeners, Pete. Lead with your lead with your trump card. What are you doing?
Oh, that's true. Yes. Thank you all for whether it's one person who's listened 1,000 times or 1,000 people who've listened once by mistake and never again. We appreciate your support.
Or 2,000 people, half of which have listened and half of which haven't.
Right, there's a lot of combinations that could have.
There's a big, there's a lot of meat on that bone.
But in all seriousness, thank you. We're having fun on this ride, and if you're new to this show, jump aboard. We're ready to continue.
We're having fun on this ride. See, do you know what I admire about you the most, Pete?
What's that?
Your ability to make assumptions and talk for other people. That's. Puts you aces in my book. Yeah, so follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Podbean.
Yep. And listen on iTunes. Yeah. Spotify. All the links will be below.
Speaking of Patreon, you still have, at the time of release, you've still got a couple of days left to hop on our contest that we're running.
Yes.
Sign up for
So
our
what's that contest?
Shut up and I'll tell you. Sign up to our Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, and you can.
We're giving away 2 prizes.
Yeah.
Over $15 value each of Halloween candy, full-size chocolate bars.
Yeah, like the stuff you get from the good houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the odds are pretty good at winning.
Yeah. Right now, there's like 5 people in the pool, so for $1, you can pretty much. Guaranteed.
For 2 prizes.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's pretty good. We sound like we're in a shopping mall.
Right.
And that's because we are not alone today.
Right.
And
we have an honorary movie man.
Yeah, and the guy that's joining us is joining us from a non-disclosed, unless they want to sponsor us, coffee shop. That rhymes with.
I'm not sure.
Narlux.
Right.
Yeah. So, known across Facebook, Instagram, especially Twitter.
Right.
Welcome to the show, Blue Jays Dad.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Which is like it's like a secret
coffee shop that rhymes with Farbucks.
Yeah, it's a secret alias, right? Blue Jays Dad. That's
right.
It's
I like to think of it as an alter ego, or a high-end parody, or mixed with a real person.
Okay. So fundamentally, none of your followers know that your name's actually Jessica. That's
exactly.
Okay.
Unless they reach out to me and we attend a Jays game together, then they get to know my real name.
Wow. Does that happen?
That does happen.
That's incredible.
That's cool.
That's
interesting.
The most recent, just someone reached out to me, business person from Toronto, visiting Minneapolis, where I live now. Jays were in town, said, "Hey, Blue Jays Dad, can I go to the game with your family?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'd love it." Had a great time.
Nice.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
can I just ask one question, Blue Jays Dad? Did you wear a Blue Jays cape, or how does this alter ego work when you're in public?
Oh, it's a blue satin jacket. Vintage Blue Jays satin jacket. That's when I feel like I'm totally, captivated by that persona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
So I won't refer to you as Jessica then. We'll kind of keep that on the down low. I will. So what do I like? Blue Jay's dad is kind of clunky for this whole conversation. We'll call you Dad. Call you Daddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or you could just call me at Blue Jays Dad and encourage your listeners to follow me on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah, for sure.
And
Isn't that a bit more smooth?
it
It's
is.
like,
And
at Blue Jays Dad.
At Blue Jays Dad.
Daddy's.
Let me just say one more thing about myself, because I'm always about building my personal brand. Actually, my kids and my kids' friends often call me at Blue Jays Dad.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of their fun thing.
Yeah.
This is a
Interesting.
weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird commentary on
Yeah.
today and
Yeah.
the world we live
It
in.
makes me a little uncomfortable that's happening, but I'm not judging you.
Well, thank you. I mean, my kids thought I was famous until one of their classmates, they found out they had 30,000 followers on, what is it, TikTok, or what is that app?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
WhatsApp?
Okay,
Too
well,
old.
let's just stay in our age group, or I'll
Yeah.
bring you up to my age group. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So let's get into it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So we have recently watched 2 Star Wars films.
Yeah, we have a mini-series
and reviewed 2 Star Wars films. And we're doing this all in preparation for Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, coming out this December. That's the December of 2019 for people who are going back and listening 23 years in the future. And
If this hasn't been taken down.
yeah, and we couldn't be more excited. You know, I think no matter who you are, even if you think, well, the new Star Wars isn't going to be that good, even if that's your position, you're still excited. You're still looking forward to seeing how this wraps up.
I had a conversation with someone the other day at work, and just he's busy. He's got a new family. He's got a lot going on, and he's a Star Wars fan. But I don't know if he'd say these newer 3 movies are his favorite by any means. But still, he's only going to see one movie this year just because he hasn't had much time, and that's going to be the movie of the year for him.
I know a guy, Jason Leibold, who I used to work with, and he will only go to the theater to see Star Wars movies.
Wow.
To him, it's the only movies worth going to the theater. So, I mean, he's also into Avengers and stuff like that, but he'll wait. He'll wait till it comes out on DVD
Right.
and he'll rent it. Yeah, Star Wars is the only thing that gets him up and going to the.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I feel about Star Wars that's worthy of my movie money.
Right.
Other movies, it's like, yeah, I guess we could see it in the theater. Okay, a family
Right.
member wants to see it, or a friend. Okay, sure, that's fine.
Right.
But it's Star Wars. It's like I feel obligated in a good way. It's kind of what I have to do, what is right to do,
What
and
is your
I'm
moral?
happy to do.
What is your moral responsibility to do?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you got to at least go once.
Yeah.
And then if you really enjoy it, then of course you're going back, for the 8:30 in the morning show for $4 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, to live in the States where they have 8:30 in the morning shows.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
how I saw Endgame. I went 8:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And
nice.
I was wearing my winter jacket, jogging pants, Birkenstocks,
Oh, man.
and a toque. And I walked in, and there's all these people. Look like they never got out of bed because they're all fully reclined in their seats.
Wow.
It's like they were carried in stretchers, from their bed at home to the movie theater.
Maybe they were.
And laid down, and it's like, guys, we didn't even have to get out of bed today,
That's
and we're at the
awesome.
movie theater.
Yeah, that's amazing.
great.
So this week we watched Return of the Jedi,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I'm going to go right out on a limb and
Sure.
say that of the original trilogy, this is by far my favorite of the original 3.
Yes, you get me. You get me.
Don't get me wrong, and it goes in the order of A New Hope, and then Empire, and then Jedi for me. So in the order of release, they just kind of got better and better. And I think, like, if you go back when we were talking about A New Hope, and I talked about how A New Hope was my least favorite of the original trilogy, and then I think that that boiled down to really, like, as a kid, just the lightsaber fights, right?
Sure.
And so I think a lot of it is for the same reasons that Return of the Jedi is my favorite, right? Like, we get a lot more lightsaber fighting in Empire than we do in A New Hope. But something like, there's just so much anger and aggression and emotion, and it feels like more on the line in our lightsaber battle in Return of the Jedi, right? And so for me, that's, you know, that's and the Emperor.
Oh, for sure.
Right, because like you can't argue the fact, or you can't argue against the fact, the Emperor he's like on the list of all-time villains. Like, people talk about Darth Vader as one of the greatest all-time bad guys, right?
Sure.
But you look at the Emperor, and you have to realize this is the guy that Darth Vader answers to.
Right.
This is the guy that made Darth Vader evil.
Right.
This is the guy that is so twisted and so, like, just, for lack of a better word, evil down to his core.
Embodiment of evil.
That he's got no empathy, he's got no sympathy, he's got no moral compass. He is self-serving and power hungry, and not only willing to take whatever means necessary, but will probably go out of his ways to take the most insidious.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Which I kind of wonder, like, that can't be a coincidence.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
maybe.
in the process of naming him, right? You've got all these other Darth Vader means Dark Father. I have to think that Darth Sidious has some sort of, you know,
intention.
They're playing on the fact that just the word in itself sounds horrible and awful, and, you know, all of that to say, Return of the Jedi, best of the original three.
So I want to say a couple things about Return of the Jedi. One, I'll save till later, but because I want to say one thing to kind of stir things up here. And I want to begin it with, I would agree, Return of the Jedi is my favorite. But
of
all
time, or of the original three?
Of the original three. But when watching this movie, I have this feeling, or this, like, statement in my mind, that between the whole Jabba's palace intro and all the Ewok segments, essentially not a whole lot happens in this movie. There's a lot of waiting, a lot of storytelling, a lot of Han misreading Leia's affections to Luke, and a lot of Obi-Wan BSing his way out of misleading Luke regarding his father. But really, like, the last third of the movie is, like, jam-packed with a lot of stuff, and then previous to that, the first 2/3, not a whole lot happens.
Yeah, the middle third. And I actually, when I was, because I haven't watched the movie lately, I've only watched it about 250 times over the course of my 44 years. But I was thinking about how, like, even as a kid, it got slow, especially when they're assembling the teams, like that scene where, you know, Han's like, you know, I don't have a command team yet. And, you know, like, they're like, I'm in, you know, that little part. And General Maydean, you know, the guy with the beard, the most, you know, unsought after action figure in the world, came with his little stick, his little power pointer thing. And anyway, like, him talking and stuff, that's just boring. I mean, as a kid, you're just, like, kind of waiting, like, when is this going to pick up again? But yeah, the middle third seems to not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the opening Jabba's palace is all exciting.
Yeah. Well, once they get to the Sarlacc pit, but before that, there's a lot of, like, all those. I'm not sure what edition did everyone watch, by the way.
So I watched the blasphemous, the Blu-ray, the newest, all the changes, all the, you know.
Yeah, so you don't really know who Snice Noodles is.
Who?
Anyway, no.
I have seen the originals, like the. No, I don't know if I've seen the theatrical releases. I'm sure I did, because when I
Okay.
no, I'm sure I did, because my initial viewing of this film, and when I viewed it the most, like as a kid, would have been 95, 96. So yeah, so I would have seen, because I think 97
Cool.
was when the first,
Yes. Yep.
sprucing
And-
happened.
And that's, for the record, the 97 version is the one that I watched.
Okay.
Okay, I'm thinking of all the versions right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
From Laserdisc forward.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean,
But-
there are some big changes then, right? If we want to talk about Jabba's palace and the very different tone in the music selections in Jabba's palace, right?
Those, which are atrocious.
The new one's kind of,
Yes.
it's like, what? Why? You just turned it into like
Why?
a pop singer kind of.
I was watching it, and my wife looked at me, and my wife likes Star Wars, for the record. There's no issue about that. And she looked at me during that musical number, and she's like, "What the heck is this?
Yeah.
Like, what are we watching?"
See, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to offend both of you here, but I think when George Lucas had unlimited resources, that's when that was a new challenge to create quality Star Wars. I think that from A New Hope, and then or obviously Empire and Jedi have increased budgets and expectations and technology, but it still had enough constraints that you had to use things like models. You had to use things that were real, things that you could almost touch. And I think it never fulfilled George Lucas's ultimate vision for what he had in his head, but I'm not sure that we really wanted what he had in his head. And when he's given all the money and the resource and the technology to do that, we look at it and say, you know what? We liked it when you didn't have an unlimited budget.
Well, and I mean, a big part of it too is George didn't originally direct Return of the Jedi, right?
No.
And so
Nope.
that plays a big role too, is that when, and people have talked about this, like a big difference between the original trilogy and the prequels is the prequels is what happens when nobody is telling George Lucas no.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is similarly, like if you're going back and you're editing and making changes to your films, you're not really you're sitting in a room by yourself doing that, and nobody's
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's the true challenge of creativity. When you have a creative wants all the freedom in the world to create exactly what they want, but you have to have what's limiting factors. You have to have something
Checks
that
and
calls
balances.
something that calls on your resourcefulness. That because that's when true creativity comes. Like, well, I only have this to work with. How am I going to make this work?
Right.
And that's the special magical times. And so yeah, I've been bothered. I mean, I know we're not talking about Empire Strikes Back but when it comes to going back and changing some things, really the only one that I really love is more of the Wampa scenes in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, okay.
The snow monster that you see him. Because really, in the original, you don't just see kind of his arm.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was freaked out. It was one of the first movies I saw in the theater. It's a story for another time. I went to a double feature with my dad.
Nice.
They brought A New Hope back, but we got there, and New Hope, the theater was filled already. So we had to watch Empire first, and then New Hope, and then the rest of my whole life's been screwed up after that, trying to figure out chronology of my existence. But I remember as a kid, I was freaked out at the Wampa because you didn't see him very much. But I did like that ad. It was a very natural ad to have more, like when he looks up and he's eating the tauntaun. That's a scene that we never had before. But besides that change, I don't know that I'm a big fan of really much of the other changes along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there were some small things like in Empire and Cloud City, in some of the hallways, they CGI'd in some windows just to make it seem
that made
bigger
it a
and more of... Yeah, and stuff like that was pretty harmless. Talking about Return of the Jedi, there's one change that I think is the biggest of all the changes. The biggest and most terrible, awful, heart-wrenching, makes me cringe every time I watch it change. And that is towards the end of the film.
Sure.
Actually, there's two of them.
Okay.
One of them I don't know how I feel about. One of them I'm very angry about. The one that I'm very angry about is in the throne room.
Yep.
When Palpatine is shocking Luke using his Force lightning.
Yep.
And Vader is looking back and forth, right? He's looking at his son. He's looking at the Emperor. He looks back at his son, and he's kind of having this contemplating moment. And in the originals, in the good ones, or in the good version, I won't say the good ones, in the good version of this scene, without saying anything, Vader makes his way towards the Emperor, picks the Emperor up, and throws the Emperor down this public safety nightmare of a building design.
Yeah.
And there's so much emotion in that moment. Because without saying anything, you know exactly what thought process Vader has gone on. You know what he's feeling, you know what he's thinking, and it's so powerful. And then you get to the new ones.
Right.
The changes. And George Lucas decided that it was crucial to give Vader some dialogue in this moment. And so what was normally this big, powerful moment, because you didn't need any words. You knew exactly what Vader was thinking, feeling. But now, Vader goes, no. No! And it's so unnecessary and cheapens the moment, especially because it's clearly just the same no. Like he's basically just taken the audio clip from Revenge of the Sith,
Right.
and like cropped it down, faded it out, and stuck it over top of this.
Yeah.
But to me, it's the biggest Star Wars sin.
Yeah, this is one of my big problems with how the whole prequels and sequels and everything have worked out, is that I believe that within the original three, there was enough information and facts like to keep you intrigued and imagining this other parts of the story and the world, and your imagination was really captivated. Like when I was a kid, like all we had, like I'll talk about this in a second, but basically George Lucas didn't stick with the facts that were already said in the original trilogy. And then he's got to do this work to repatch it all the way through.
Right.
And keep trying to make these connections that just come off as really artificial and not in the spirit of, the original experience of Star Wars, where, you didn't know where Darth Vader came from. You kind of knew, but you didn't. And so you had all this imagination and my imagination's way better than actually how they ended up telling the story. But anyway, I wish they would have stuck with the facts that they had laid out in the original trilogy.
Are you telling me that you didn't need midichlorians?
Yeah, like all that. That's just like George Lucas having too much time on his hands.
Yeah, explaining, we've got this awesome power called the Force, and it's cool. Let's break it down and explain it on a chemistry level.
Right.
Yeah, similar to the Wampa. Like you're more afraid of not seeing it because your imagination is the most powerful fear creator. Same with the creative universe. Like you want to know enough to kind of appreciate it, but once you break it down too much, then your imagination can't fill in the blanks, and it's not as fantastic. And some things are better left just to your imagination, where it's the more vibrant reality.
Now, let me say this. This is something I think I can add as someone who's older than both of you, who I was 7 years old when we were waiting for Return of the Jedi to come out. Okay, so this is the one movie in all of my experience that, because when you're 7, 8 years old, that's when things are the most magical in your life.
For sure.
Right? Your imagination's leading the way, like it is.
Well,
you're into this. So
either that or when you're like 90 and they've got you on some pretty hard pills.
Exactly. But I haven't got there. I'm not there quite yet. But I remember, how Empire ended, that, Darth Vader saying, "I'm your father," or whatever the real quote is, I forget. We had literally 3 years of debating whether that was true or not.
Right.
Like 3 years on the playground.
Yeah.
Of kids saying, no, he is, no, he isn't. No, he is his father. No, he was lying. No, he was, right. And in the day and age of Twitter, where it's like one thing is tweeted and then it's debunked by the afternoon or something.
Right.
This was 3 years of wondering what was going to happen. And this is, like, for me, another probably reason why Return of the Jedi is my favorite, is that it was the one that had 3 years of anticipation. And even this, you didn't get to, we didn't, only the rich families, the doctors and lawyers families had things like VHS players and Betamaxes and all that you could actually watch the movie in between. Like back in that day, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they would bring movies back to the movie theater. Did you know that?
Yes.
They'd come back for a second, third, fourth showing.
Yeah.
And so everything was in your imagination. I had the picture books that came with a cassette or a little 45 record.
Ooh.
And it was, you're on page 1. It was, "You will know it's time to turn the page when R2-D2 beeps like this." And they had these like really cheap voice actors, that did not sound like Luke, that did not sound like Lando, but you believed it was,
Sure.
And that's how you kept the story going in your mind until the next movie released. And but anyways, as we go on, I have some magical moments for me as a kid, what I saw happen in Return that just blew my mind. And a part of it was the darkness of Jabba's palace. That was a very dark, mysterious, you weren't even sure, was that Luke coming in? He looked kind of evil.
Yeah, because he's
choking
in
the Gamorrean guard and all that.
Yeah, and this is the first time we see him in all black.
Right.
And that was so cool. Like, I could not wait to get that action figure.
Yeah.
Luke in all black.
Yeah.
And
the only time a Jedi's dressed fully in black.
I would say there's as far as the movie-going experience, there's a lot of ways in which technology has hurt us and a lot of ways in which it's helped us. So like, if you want to look at the ways in which it's helped us, as far as sound, like if you're going to see the new Star Wars, and you even an old Star Wars at this point, right? It's, let's say, Return of the Jedi. Let's say they're gonna do a 1 week long re-release of Return of the Jedi, and you park your butt in a Dolby Atmos theater with a 4K HDR projection screen. Technology has given you an incredible immersive movie experience that you couldn't have gotten even 10 years ago. On the flip side of that, and I wasn't around in the early 80s, but my assumption would be that if you didn't get out to see Return of the Jedi in the first 2 days, especially if it came out in summer, maybe the school ground was a little bit different, kids talk on the school ground, but let's say Return of the Jedi is getting released in the beginning of July in the 80s, right? And let's say you don't get out to see it in the first 2 days, that's fine. The movie probably hasn't been ruined for you. Whereas now we live in an age where you either go out and see it day one, or you stay the hell off the internet for the next couple of days.
Oh yeah, I'm scared to death. Like we've gone to like the midnight showing one time to get enough tickets for our family on a school night. It's like, kids, you're staying home from school tomorrow. Star Wars is debuting because you are not allowed to go to high school and hear what other people are saying about the movie until we see
I
it.
saw I saw The Force Awakens opening night.
Cool.
Like first showing of opening night, which was a big deal for The Force Awakens because that was the movie where when tickets went on sale, all of the theater chains' websites crashed. We had the worst seats in the theater, and we bought our tickets less than 2 minutes after sales went up. Right, like It was a big. So we saw it in IMAX, and we saw it in the front row of IMAX, which was a really aggressive experience. But
You're just turning your head the whole time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, look at that Star Destroyer fly by. You're like turning your head for 5 minutes.
yeah, but to speak to the point, like when as far as avoiding spoilers and stuff, when that movie ended, and spoiler alert for The Force Awakens, but when that movie ended, and we walked out past the group that was lining up for the next showing.
Oh no, don't. Oh, my
Nobody
goodness, yeah.
nobody spoiled anything.
Yeah, that's good.
But I thought to myself in that moment, the fact that I know, for instance, that Han Solo dies. Because
Yep.
that was, I mean, really, that was what you walked out of the theater. That was the main thought on your mind walking out of the theater from Force Awakens. That's what was consuming your thoughts, was the fact that...
That's
I had
the
a different
takeaway.
thought, but anyway,
Okay, all right,
I
but-
had a different thought. But finish your thought, then I'll give you my competitive thought.
Okay, but a big part of it was, holy crap, Han Solo's dead. And so
Right.
walking past this group of very excited individuals, I mean, we were all in, if you weren't wearing a t-shirt, you were wearing a costume. Like we were, it was big. It's Star Wars, right? And I'm walking past these people and I'm thinking to myself, the power that I have right now, the knowledge, the soul-crushing spoilers that I could just lay on these people and die.
Yeah, you're looking at these people like they're a lineup of weak-minded fools.
Yeah. and I mean, respectfully, I would have probably died. I would have ended up in the hospital
Yes.
for sure. Like, and
But
that's
at
not
least
even
in Canada, that would have been free.
That's yeah.
Like
But
at least
like,
your ICU trip would be free.
not even like I'm not trying to be cute for dramatic effect here. Someone would have hit me.
Oh yeah.
Had I, because it was it was huge, and I don't know. It's crazy that like you're not even, it's not like nowadays with spoilers. It's not like, well, I'm on the playground and I overheard some kids talking and well, it was my fault. I went out in the privacy of your own home. And it's not even you went looking for it or you whatever, scrolling on YouTube.
Yeah.
Titles of videos that give away major plot points within a couple of days of the movie coming out.
Yeah.
Or on your phone, when you use the Google on your phone, and right below the search bar, there's like a whole bunch of different news articles that are listed there. I can't tell you how many times the top article has been something that I wish I hadn't seen, because now it's like, oh, okay, well, there goes that.
Right.
Yeah. I'll say this because I think it connects with Return of the Jedi as well, and why Return of the Jedi is my favorite of all the movies. But it's, the Return of the Jedi was a fitting ending. It really brought everything together. It was that full completeness, wholeness that you wanted, that you were hoping that would happen in the galaxy. And so my thought when I was walking out of Force Awakens was that, I thought it sucked that Han and Leia had split.
Yeah.
Sure.
At that point, it's like that's a cheap move. Like, thank you, J.J. Abrams. Like honestly, I feel like The Force Awakens was just J.J. Abrams doing a total troll job of George Lucas. Like, we're gonna just show you everything that we think you did wrong with your movies, and we're gonna do it all over again, even wronger, in this. And anyway, and I think for my kids too, who we treat the Star Wars movie with a great sense of sacredness in our home. Like, you're not just allowed to watch one. Like, you can't. It's not just going to be playing in the afternoon when someone gets home, like in the background while you're baking cookies. It's like no. We haven't. We watched this a year and a half ago. We're not watching it right now.
Right.
We're going to wait until it's ready to be watched again. And so anyway, what's that?
Until it's special, we have to make sure it's done.
I thought you said Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh no.
And that's a separate episode. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think one thing that's fitting about Return of the Jedi is that it did bring everything together, and I feel like the sequels now have torn that apart. And I think it could. I mean, everyone thinks it could be better, but I think you got to do something better. You got to keep Han and Leia together. You got to keep Luke as like a new mentor. And anyway, but that's not what we're talking about.
Can I ask a couple specific questions about Jedi? Because you're talking about how it wraps things up.
I mean, I'm sure you're going to anyways, so go for it.
Absolutely. So, two-part. One, I read a quote from James Earl Jones that he wasn't actually convinced that Vader was actually turned at the end, and he like his quote was not. I don't necessarily believe that. I kind of thought he was lying just to kind of appease Luke. So that's the first part. Well, actually, so what do you guys think about that? Like, is there any meat to that bone? I'm not sure.
Lame.
I think it's lame for two reasons. One,
Sure.
Ahead of its time, it undoes. Like, looking at Star Wars from a bigger picture,
Sure.
it undoes the prophecy. Right, the fact that the fact that in the end,
true.
Anakin did bring balance to the Force.
Exactly.
What if Kylo Ren is bringing balance to the Force?
Right. Well, yeah,
you don't even know.
Right. That's the thing. So, but I think a big logic hole in that whole, a big issue in that theory is that had he not turned, if he didn't actually turn, then why the hell would he be trying to appease Luke? Like, what does he care if he hasn't turned? Right. So the desire to appease his son, to do something to make his son happy, I think in and of itself is evidence that he had turned.
Potentially, like playing devil's advocate, like whether you're evil villain like Darth Vader or Joe Smith down the street, if you know you're going to die within 2 minutes and you have your like kind of estranged son right next to you, who's to say that what a dying man might do to just bring some peace to his estranged relationship with his son?
No, I disagree. I disagree. He's a Sith. He is 100% self-serving. He has no like in the definition of a Sith, he has no consideration or outward thought of anybody else except for himself.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
But, I mean, does it change the dynamic, though, if he has eyebrows or if he doesn't have eyebrows?
or if...
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, or if he appears at the end as Hayden Christensen instead of Sebastian Shaw.
Right.
Yeah, see, there's another patch job right there. That's another patchwork.
And how do you feel on it, Chris? Because you were there from ground zero.
Feel about what?
How do you feel? Like, do you feel it's blasphemous having Hayden Christensen there, or are you okay with that?
It's almost necessity to connect it with the prequels, but I don't like it.
Okay.
I like that. I mean, I grew up with, because like when you're in it and you're waiting 3 years in between movies,
right?
You're like, what does Darth Vader look like? What does Darth Vader? You're imagining it the whole time. You don't know. And you just have the things that Obi-Wan told Luke originally when they first met. and so you're envisioning. You have this image in your mind. And so when you see him, when the mask comes off, like, I don't know how you guys appreciate. I mean, I sound like an old fuddy-duddy in this podcast, but it's like, I don't know if anyone can appreciate what it was like for that mask to come off.
Oh, for sure.
Like for a kid, for an 8-year-old kid that waited 3 years to see the mask come off, and then you see that guy, and to you now that is Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, even leading up to this, all of the teasing, right? Like the shots where you see
his helmet's off, and back of his head.
You see him in his healing chamber from behind, and it's like, whoa, he's like, he doesn't have any hair under there. He doesn't have any because really at this point, and even when he is like even by the end of Return of the Jedi, we don't know that he burned.
We have no idea.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's
like
what
that.
I remember from the playground. You know what I remember from the playground is that Darth Vader had fallen into a pit of acid.
Oh.
That's what all my
logical.
friends believed.
Yeah,
All my friends believed that he had fallen into a big pit of acid, and that's why he was who he was. And then we're like, okay, that's good.
which makes sense, right? Because it's in line with so many like comics were still on the go at the time. And so, you've got people like, the origin, like how many comic book characters do you know that had some sort of a run-in with acid, right? Joker falls into a vat of acid.
Right, yeah.
Daredevil
And
gets...
in my mind, I envisioned it happening kind of in a Bespin, where Luke, Vader reveals he's Luke's father. In my imagination, it kind of happened in something that looks similar to that, with big vats of acid and some old battle that Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader was in, and then he got pushed into there or something.
Right.
But you're right. Like, when they showed those teaser shots of like the helmet off or coming back on, I was always trying to, like, as a kid, because once again, you didn't see it very often, right? You couldn't just rewind and slow-mo. Every time I'm watching it, I'm trying to look from a different angle. Can I see his face? But how maybe I didn't look hard enough the other time. And it just once again, the magic of just teasing like that.
And the magic of not showing us too much and letting our imaginations kind of fill in the gaps and let that be the most vibrant storytelling.
And then when you finally see the helmet come off, you're like, okay, that's him.
And I mean, I to the credit of George Lucas, he could have, very poorly, but he could have removed Sebastian from the film altogether, and he didn't. So like, even though Sebastian doesn't show up as a Force ghost at the end, even though he's not playing Force ghost Anakin, he does still play. He does still play, maskless Vader dying in the, And so it's not like in Empire where the guy that played the Emperor in the hologram is just not.
Yeah, it was an old lady and a monkey. It was an old lady and a chimpanzee mixed, right?
Yeah. And so, but then all of a sudden she's just not in the film anymore, right? Because Ian McDiarmid was superimposed over top.
And isn't it crazy that he was only 30 years old, or what was he, 36 or something?
He's super young, yeah. He as a really young guy, he plays a super old emperor, and then as an old guy, he plays a young emperor.
Yeah.
And then as a really old guy, he's about to come back and play a really, really old emperor. So.
Okay, you know what? Let's not get into that, because that's J.J. Abrams trying to save his butt. It's like, we got this whole Snoke character, that didn't work because we didn't have a plan.
Right.
And now we gotta appease the fans, and this is gonna be like the finale of Lost.
Man,
it's just gonna be like
they were in purgatory the whole time.
I feel like
we're gonna try to quickly resolve this thing, but we're gonna create more loose ends by trying to resolve it.
Yeah, I feel
the
like
Shaggy Dog effect.
I feel like we're gonna have you back, because I mean. I'm sensing some good debates going on here. I'm sensing
right on.
I'm sensing some differing opinions.
Disturbances in the Force
yes.
is really what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's
can I-
okay. You'll suddenly be silenced. Don't worry about it.
I want to round it back because I have another question about the closing of this movie, and I actually I'm curious, and maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm just not familiar with canon. Just at the end of Jedi and the way the story wraps up, like the euphoria of just on every single planet, it seems that everyone's celebrating of like the toppling of the Empire. But
Right.
how is the end of Jedi fundamentally different than the ending of New Hope? Because it's not like the entire Empire was destroyed. Like it was literally just one space station that incidentally had the Emperor on it. Because I'd just a sec. I'd make the argument that like any with any regime in history, if someone shot the leader, there's still the leadership network that would continue the tyranny of, in this case, the Empire.
I think you're underestimating the forces, the dark side of the force's role in all this.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I think we're going to find out what didn't happen to the Emperor that we thought did shortly in a few months.
Right.
But I think, at least I'm just going from my perspective, would be
Sure.
when you destroyed the Emperor and his grip on Darth Vader, we didn't have the language of Sith Lord and all that kind of lingo back then. But you saw that the core power of darkness was defeated.
Fair. Okay.
It
Yeah,
lost
that's
its grip.
yeah, I think, not only did we, in this battle, compared to the end of A New Hope, not only did we destroy a Death Star that was bigger and more powerful this time, but in one foul swoop, both the Emperor and Vader
Yep.
are gone.
Right.
And really, for the most part, like, the masses of the galaxy don't know that Vader saved the day. That Vader, had this this change. He's just the big bad guy that's now gone.
Right.
And I think it's probably questionable throughout the galaxy how many people actually even knew, were all that familiar with Vader. I think everybody knew who the Emperor was, right? Because the Emperor was like your Hitler. He was the guy pulling all the strings and doing all the, but Vader, Vader is just kind of, we see him as really menacing. And he is really menacing, but he's kind of he's still just like in army terms, he's a captain. He's he's not really the boss, right? He's not at the top of the chain of command. So a lot of people probably didn't even know that Vader was like on the far reaches of the galaxy, unless you'd really had an encounter with Vader.
Right, and I think, from the 8-year-old me's perspective, the Emperor was hidden, like in A New Hope, and then you saw the hologram in Empire, and then he's revealed in Jedi. He's a hidden figure that everybody knows is in power, but it's almost because he's so powerful you don't get to see him. And Darth Vader is kind of the representative of his power.
Right.
I don't want to say doing his dirty work, because that makes it sound a lot more like it cheapens Darth Vader, really what he was like, but he's the guy that you may get a glimpse of.
Right.
That embodies the Emperor's dark powers of the dark side of the Force.
Right. That line, the line of the Emperor's coming here, right?
Yeah.
Which gives,
and that's the Death Star.
Yeah,
and that's the Death Star.
Gives you this
right?
feeling.
The Emperor's coming here.
Yep.
Of
like Tatooine doesn't have a hope of the Emperor coming.
Oh yeah, no way.
It's like Thunder Bay and Taylor Swift.
Oh. Ouch.
Hold in there, Thunder Bay. It could happen.
Yeah. You never know.
But yeah, no. Thinking of the Emperor, there's so many, like playing back to the your imagination and the wonderment of the unknown, right? The first time we see the royal guards, just the mystery of these guys that are all in red.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
And who are
And
they?
those guys wearing a little bit of purple. Those guys, you barely see them. You know, they're just, like, they never focused on them in the original. They were always
Yeah.
just kind of in the background, and a lot of mystery there that just,
Yeah.
that's what the originals had, is this idea that it's bigger than you know. There's more going on than you know, and it gave you little glimpses of that.
Right. Right.
And I think, you know what, like, I think the prequels were lacking that altogether. I think that the sequel trilogy is aware that they need to, whether they're doing it well or not, I think they're aware that they need to recapture some of that, right? So, like, whether you like him or not, we still don't really know anything about Snoke. We have no idea who he is, or who he was, or how he came to power, or just how long he had been around for. My favorite theory didn't pan out, and so that's a bummer for me. But
Sorry, really quickly, what was your favorite theory? I haven't listened to that podcast.
Now, well, we've never talked about it, and I know that he's the wrong species and it doesn't work and whatever. But part of me, just for the fun, interwoven, everything's connectedness of Star Wars, I desperately wanted him to be Darth Plagueis. I thought that'd be so cool because it explained the scarring on his face, the attempt on his life, and like it just. The fact that he's...
So you don't think there's any hope for that? There's no hope?
I don't, just because he's the wrong species, right? Like, it's like, in canon, I think since Disney's... Because when Disney took over, we scrapped the extended universe, and we made that Star Wars Legends. And we said, okay, the films and the Clone Wars TV show, that's canon, and that's it. And everything moving forward is canon, but everything else, all the books, all the comics, all the video games, that doesn't count anymore. And so
what about the Ewoks and Droids cartoon?
I don't think that counts, and I especially don't think that the holiday special counts.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Oh wow, Chewie's family.
Because, Chewie's dad was kind of a perv.
He was a little.
But anyway,
Just of note, I've not seen the holiday special.
You've never celebrated Life
goodness.
Day?
Yeah. Also, can I just say, Chewie in many ways is the Jar Jar Binks of the original trilogy, and I'm just going to leave that there.
Shut your
what?
mouth.
Oh my goodness, that...
He's just one-dimensional.
Do you guys edit this?
He's so one-dimensional, and just, like, when he got caught in the trap, I was like, please, come on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's
unpopular. That's very unpopular.
I'm getting a lot of unfriended on Facebook right now, but
you hear all those notifications.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm literally unfriending you right now.
As you should.
So can I don't mean to take over here, but can I...
Please.
I was hoping to have like a chance just to list a few things that I thought were amazing about Return of the Jedi in contrast to Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Can I do that really quickly?
Yes.
I don't see as we have any other choice.
All right, great. How about this one? Luke's lightsaber being green.
Yeah.
When that turned on with the against the blue sky background. I don't know if there's been a better moment in my life.
It was really cool. Well, especially because like the belt, it's not like he just grabs it off of his belt either, right? Like it's shot out of R2-D2.
Yes, that's
and he
true.
flips up.
You thought
and
it could
catches
be over.
Yeah, which is just like, and again, it built on this like, it's so fun because R2-D2 is that guy. He's your companion. He's your buddy. It's a, you know, that's a great moment, and a moment that was almost actually, you know, spoiled because there's a deleted scene where we see Luke constructing in a cave, constructing his new lightsaber, and you kind of see him. Yeah, you see him like assemble it, like slide it in together and assemble it, and in that process, you do see a green crystal.
Interesting.
And so that would have. I mean, Pete, there's so many. You actually this will blow your mind. In A New Hope, I'll send you a link to all the deleted scenes from Star Wars. But in A New Hope, you do get to see him go to Tashi Station.
What?
Oh yeah. There was a whole
To get some power converter.
I was gonna go to Tashi Station to pick up some power converter.
You're the bad motivator.
Yeah. But yeah, no. There's so many. There's like a whole conversation between him and Biggs talking about. Oh yeah, going off to the academy, and this is what I want to do, and this is they cut like. From A New Hope, before Luke gets off Tatooine, they cut like half an hour. Like there's so much there. Yeah. But yes, Luke's green lightsaber is really cool. And also like the moment, sort of piggybacking off of that real quick, something that you have I mean you don't have to. I would say regardless of your opinion of The Force Awakens, the moment that chest is opened and you see Luke's, really Anakin's lightsaber lying in that chest. That was a moment of mystery and wonderment and to me that blew my mind. I was like, and to this day, like I still, my most hated line from Force Awakens is when Maz says, "That's a story for another time." I'm like, no, you tell me right now. You tell me,
because that's what. Yeah.
How did you get that? Where did that come from?
Because that's what we have grown recently to be accustomed to with Star Wars, is that it explains everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we want to know, right? That's the intrigue of these movies now. But I'm with you. I think that that deleted scene of Luke making the final modifications to his new lightsaber. I think that's a great deleted scene. But you're right. If that's in the movie, then it spoils that moment. So I'm conflicted because I love them both, but I know the magic of, like, as a kid, you think, is Luke done? Like, is this it for Luke? And so have you guys watched the original trailers for the original movies?
I have.
Yep.
So you see that in the original Return of the Jedi trailer, his new lightsaber's blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the contrast with the blue sky is why they had to come up with the green lightsaber.
And I wonder
that's my understanding.
I wonder if that was misdirection or if the green was just an afterthought.
I'm thinking afterthought.
Yeah, I think it was, but I mean, maybe also it was hiding it. Like, you know how sometimes trailers spoil movies? Like DVD title pages ruin movies.
Yeah.
It's like you watch the DVD title page go, and it's like, oh, I guess we've watched this in 30 seconds.
Right.
But so anyway, I do, that moment's fantastic. I also have to say that the speeder bikes and biker scouts was a major add in Return of the Jedi that was so different than the original movies. Like than Star Wars and Empire. Because in Empire they introduced the Hoth stormtroopers, the snow guys, and those were cool. But I think biker scouts,
the scout troopers are really cool.
The scout troopers are the cool kids on the playground as far as stormtroopers are concerned.
And then bringing them, because you're introduced to just them on the moon of Endor, but then later when they have the final battle and the regular stormtroopers are there too, with the biker scouts, with the ATST and the AT-AT that you've seen in the other movies, all together, like,
that is cool.
That's just like, that's big. That's a big moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, speeder bikes, my friend and I, we would ride our BMXs, down the trail. Like, we were on that, like, by the creek by my house. And only one time did we try to bonk into each other side by side, but my pedal went into his spokes. And that was the last time we tried that.
Right. Did you have to jump off and bail like Luke did?
I don't think we had time. We just, like, a tangled mess of just injuries and scrapes, and like that's not how it's supposed to work.
No. To me, as a point of reference, the movie really starts at the speeder bike scene. That's for me.
Really? You don't consider any of the Jabba stuff to be...
okay, I guess I like the Sarlacc pit is... Yeah. I love me the Sarlacc pit. And am I the only one? Every time... I'm not a huge Family Guy fan at all, but every time I'm watching the Sarlacc pit, when they start nodding at each other, I have to stop watching the movie and then watch the bit on, like, YouTube of, like, the Family Guy where they nod at each other, like, 27 times.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh, after this, just check it out. It's like it's just a play on like they literally nod at each other. Just watch it. It's
See,
like
the
a 1 minute clip.
Sarlacc.
Or in Jabba's palace when Lando pulls his mask down.
Yeah.
But once again, I mean, that was a totally new thing. I mean, obviously Han and Luke dressed up as stormtroopers,
True.
but I mean, we didn't know that Leia was Boosh, the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was
Like
a
that
big
was a
moment.
total surprise, and that was not spoiled in school. I didn't see it the first day, and kids were talking about. I think the one thing I walked away with was that Yoda died. That's what was
Right.
spoiled for me. Yoda died, but good thing back in grade 2 and 3 that kids aren't very reliable. So nothing else was really spoiled, but. And here's the last cool thing I'll say about Return of the Jedi: the half-built Death Star.
Yes.
The half-built Death Star.
Right.
Like that was phenomenal. To bring it back, but half-built. Oh, what a smart move!
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you. I thought there was something aesthetically that I enjoy more about the partial completed Death Star than the entirely completed Death Star, but why do you like it?
Just because like the older stories start with, you're joining that original scene with when they're taking over Leia's ship and Darth Vader busts through the door and all that.
Right.
You're joining a bigger story right in the middle of it. So it gives you that sense of a lot has happened, but you're right there. The half-finished Death Star points to the future.
Right.
So now it's driving your imagination into the future of like, oh my goodness, it's happening again.
Right.
And yes, I think it was a great bookend.
Yeah. Cool.
What's everyone's favorite line from this movie?
Ooh, it's a trap, probably.
Yeah.
Jabba no bother.
Oh, that's good.
Also,
My-
arguably also when Leia says "I know" to enhance his "I love
yeah,
you." That's
that
kind of
was
dope.
that was good.
Brady, what about you?
See, for me, it's during the Sarlacc pit scene, or leading into that.
Yep.
When they're on the barge on their way out, and Han makes a comment about his eyesight coming back. He says, everything's gone from a big dark blur to a big light blur. And Luke says, "You're not missing much. I used to live here, you know." And Han says, "You're gonna die here, you know." And to me,
and that's only created by Harrison Ford. George Lucas can't come up with those lines.
no, yeah,
No, that's true. Yeah.
but yeah, to me that was just it was so Han, like it was so This is can I point out this movie's got we see a big change in everybody's character in this film.
Yes, maturity.
So Luke
Yeah.
Luke is now, we've seen him transition from this whiny little teenager into essentially a self-appointed Jedi Knight.
Hey guys, there's going to be a really loud noise here right now.
All right.
We're going to have to edit this out. Sorry about that, but they're opening the doors to chapters, and they push these long, fold-up glass doors, and I call it the 10 o'clock train because it's extremely loud. And so there's two halves of it. They just finished one half. Here comes the second half. It's kind of like the trolley on Mr. Rogers. So here it comes, and then hold on. This person's rather slow at this.
Come on, Steve.
Yeah, they're not gonna get the raise. Man, they're really slow. Oh, here it comes. All right, trolley, going to the land of make-believe.
While we wait, are you pumped for the Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks coming out? Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you know that I'm an old fuddy-duddy, so I think that Tom Hanks, if there's got to be anyone, he's the one.
He is the one.
Okay, it's gone. We're done now.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we hang on. I'm trying to segue off the last thing I said. We also see a big change in Han, right? Han's
okay.
Han's a little more, I think spending some having a little bit of downtime and some carbonite has
It was the rest he needed.
he's softened up a little. He's a little more of a family man, I think, than he was before.
He appreciates the little things in life more.
He's not just out for money,
Right.
right? And I mean,
It was a blessing in disguise, really.
maybe part of that is the guy that's after him for money is dead now, so that
Oh, yeah, that's true.
that debt's kind of been lifted. I think one of the biggest changes, though, and a change that goes unnoticed a lot of the time, is in Leia. Leia in this film is a lot more gentle, a lot softer. The Leia who has that initial interaction with Wicket, and offers the hat to him and gives him some food and stuff. That's not the same Leia that's rescued from the Death Star in A New Hope.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, very motherly.
Very
Yeah.
motherly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
And again,
point.
and yeah, just everyone's kind of matured a little.
Yeah.
Everyone's had some proper character development, with the exception of C-3PO. He's just as neurotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you believe just the genius of R2D2 and C-3PO?
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's playing on some Laurel and Hardy stuff, from back in the day, where you just have these two guys that play off each other and are just hilarious, but they're not. They don't distract from the narrative. They tell it. They add to it. They accentuate it in all of their interactions. I don't know if anything as good will be recreated as that.
All right,
Yeah,
Pete.
it's a good dynamic. Yeah.
Pete, scale of 1 to 10.
Yep.
Where do you place Return of the Jedi?
So I'm gonna give it an 8.8 out of 10, and I just wanted to leave it off with this comment. I think for me, perhaps one of the reasons why the underlying story is so endearing to me is that Luke believes in the duality of Vader, and that even the most evil of people has the potential to be good. And the reason I like this so much is just that some movies kind of get a little corny or cartoonish when there's the theme that people are painted as good or bad, and that I think it's a more interesting, more multi-dimensional story when each character has the capability of being both good and bad and is on a spectrum somewhere. So it's interesting that Luke thinks that Vader has the ability to be good, but even from a viewer point of view, we don't know if Luke is actually going to turn to the dark side. So there's this duality to both of them. So I think that's why the story in Return of the Jedi is the best, and it's my favorite of the original trilogy.
All right, Blue Jays Dad, what do you give this scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, I want to give it 10 out of 10. I mean, obviously it's not a perfect movie, but it's the most perfect one I know of. Just because, once again, you both have touched on the maturity,
Right.
the growth of the characters towards maturity. What Pete was just saying, it was believable that it could go either way.
Right.
You didn't know how the story was going to end, and so both is Luke going to turn to the dark side? Is Darth Vader going to turn to the light? We don't know, and it was all believable. And I think once again, just bringing back most of what you had encountered in the first two movies, bringing it all together in a new planet with Ewoks. I know that obviously a lot of people don't like the Ewoks, but I think they were great to bring in all the it became that family movie. Anyone could enjoy it, all ages, and to have them on board, obviously, yeah. But I just liked it for how it brought completion, redemption to everybody, to the galaxy. But too bad they didn't know Snoke was around and had to deal with him.
Exactly. And I'm going to give it a 9. Cool. And my breakdown of it is really simple. It's Star Wars, and there's wicked awesome lightsaber and Force lightning, and that's it. Like I don't know. It's Star Wars, and it's the best of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So we're running low on time here, Pete. But do you have like one, maybe two trivia questions for us?
Yes.
The best of the best.
I'm gonna. There's gonna be a couple quick ones, and then I've got some over/under. So I'm gonna start with this one. In this installment, who dropped the line of "I have a bad feeling about this"?
Who are you for either of us? Like what's?
Yeah. If either of you know it, just pipe in. Pipe in. Just there's a car on the line, so whoever wins gets the contest, gets the new keys to the car.
I think I know, but I'm not sure.
Who?
I could tell you what.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want me to go for it?
Yeah,
Is
for
it
sure.
Leia outside of the bunker?
No, I think it's. I think it's Han. I think it's Han Solo in the cockpit of the Falcon.
Okay.
No. Oh no. Or is it Lando?
I'm just gonna put.
I'm lost.
Yeah. Okay. So there were actually two. One was Han Solo when he was tied up by the Ewoks, and
Okay.
the other was C-3PO in Jabba's palace.
Oh yeah.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
They should have added some more in.
All right. What else you
Yeah.
got?
Okay. Who else was considered for the role of Emperor Palpatine? Got three options for you. Okay. A. Liam Neeson. B. Sean Connery. Or C. Ben Kingsley.
Wow.
No clue.
Ben Kingsley is my guess.
Dad, what do you think?
I'm gonna say Sean Connery just because he was big back then. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, can I just say it was weird calling you Dad, but that's beside the point.
You're
Ben
welcome.
Ben Kingsley was the answer. Yeah. This blew my mind. Okay, so everybody just sit down. A collaborator on part of the score and writer for lyrics of Ewok songs, John Williams' son was and is the lead singer of what pop rock band?
Would we know this band? Like, is this a band people would know, or would we have to?
Yeah, well, Brady maybe less so. For sure, Blue Jays dad, you should likely know this.
Okay, Men Without Hats.
No, Brady.
Man, like you're not giving me a lot to go off of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that I'm trying to search through my memory of like
Search your feelings.
yeah,
I know it to be true.
I'm looking deep inside of me. What? I mean, how old would this guy be?
Think 80s music.
80s music.
Those are some of their biggest hits that I'm familiar with.
Okay. I'm just stalling at this point.
Yeah, I think I'll let you know. It's actually Nickelback.
Wait,
No,
what?
I just made that up. I made that up.
Oh
It's
my
not
goodness!
Nickelback.
I almost was like Luke Skywalker in Empire, about to say, "No, that's
Okay.
impossible."
But the actual answer, have you guys ever heard the song Africa
Oh yeah,
by
Yeah.
Toto?
Toto.
By Toto? Yeah,
Yeah.
John Williams' son is the lead singer for Toto. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That maybe it didn't blow your minds as much as it blew mine, but I was beside myself.
I'm shook.
Okay, I can sense it in your voice.
I'm shook. Joseph Williams. Look at that.
What do you, this is I'm not going to give you much time on this one. What is unique about Yoda's death as it relates to Jedi's deaths in this trilogy or in this series?
He vanishes, but I mean, so does a couple other Jedi. So
Ooh. Do you any guess that's your guess? Like just that he vanishes?
Shortness of breath, not being able to get out his words.
Okay, Yoda is the only Jedi that dies of natural causes. Everyone else gets struck down or brought down by Order 66 or what have you.
That's
Okay.
sad. What a note to end on.
Actually, I've got three over-unders, real
Holy
quick
cow.
ones.
All right.
All right. Age difference between Mark Hamill and Ian McDiarmid, over, under, 3.5. You guys going on the over or under?
Over.
Under.
Okay. It's actually over. There was a 7-year age difference. Over, under. Number of scenes Han Solo is in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Over, under, 1.5.
Under.
Under.
Correct. The only Star Wars movie from the original trilogy where we do not see Han Solo in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. And the final question, over, under. Number of Force chokes in this chapter of Star Wars. Over, under, 0.5.
What? Over.
How can it be 0.5?
Like if you go under, there are no Force chokes. If you go over,
Oh
there's
yeah,
at least
well
one Force choke.
Luke choked the Gamorrean guard.
There you go. Correct, yeah. Luke chokes those guards. But this is the only Star Wars movie where Darth Vader does not Force choke someone.
Awesome. All right, what did you watch this week, Pete?
I watched a movie that historically I've given you some picks just to get revenge on you for
Yeah.
giving me bad movies, but this is one that I'm very happy to stand beside, okay?
Okay.
It's a story deeply rooted in my childhood
Okay.
that's originally based on a children's story. Then the movie I watched as a kid was a 1974 movie starring Gene Wilder, and this movie that I'm recommending to you is the remake of the movie, which is based on the book. It's incredibly star-studded, which I find confusing because it really went under the radar, and it's the 2015 The Little Prince.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it was definitely solid, and just the underlying story has a kind of a special spot in my heart, so I'm very happy to give you that recommendation.
Okay. Did you
And
also
Oh, yeah.
watch Action Point?
I did. It wasn't my favorite movie. I did.
It's not great, but
Go
when
ahead.
when you approach it with the understanding that like all these stunts are real and it's like that makes it fun.
That was interesting and alarming because there were some crazy stunts.
But
Yeah, that was interesting. The movie itself, I gave like in the category. I guess I'd maybe watch it if I was at the cottage with no Wi-Fi and it was raining. So it was like a 3.3 out of 10. That's an actual part of my ranking scale.
I love it.
So,
That's perfect.
that's it. Those are the
Yeah.
two you watched.
Yeah, man, it was a busy week.
Okay,
How
yeah.
about yourself? What you watch?
I watched The Haunting,
Oh yeah.
which was good. But I don't. The reason I liked it wasn't that Owen Wilson was in it. It was actually Catherine Zeta-Jones. I think
cool.
she's just all that in a bag of bananas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was
that's-
waiting for Liam Neeson to like talk to the ghosts and be like, I have a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for spirits like you.
Yeah, I will find you. I will kill
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
I will haunt
it was
you.
good. It was good.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't.
It wasn't amazing.
Yeah,
it's not amazing.
I'm not going to add it as a permanent part of my collection.
No. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah, it was good. The other film I watched, which I stand behind 100%.
Yeah.
And actually, I sent you a GIF about it. I was like, "Guess what I'm watching?"
yeah.
And I sent you a GIF, and it was some brooms that were carrying pails of water.
Right.
Which you couldn't figure it out. You didn't know what that was, and so
No.
which not only now confirms for me that you have mistakenly bashed this movie without knowing what it is, but you don't even know the source material of this movie. So not only this week, Pete, are you going to watch Nicolas Cage in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, but I also encourage you to go on YouTube and watch the Mickey Mouse Sorcerer's Apprentice. What this is, like, I mean, that's not the base material. Sorcerer's Apprentice is a really old story.
Sure.
But the one that everybody knows from Fantasia is the Mickey Mouse and the brooms and the And I want you to watch this film, and I think
Okay.
you're going to enjoy it a lot more than you.
Do I now, just for clarity, do I need to watch it with my eyes? Can my eyes be rolled to the back of my head, or do I
No.
need to have them fixed on the TV?
I think you're going to be genuinely surprised by this film.
Okay.
I really do.
All right.
I really
Okay.
do.
We know how I feel about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, whatever.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Blue Jays Dad, do you have someone that you can give a shout out to?
Yeah. Or did you watch
Can I
anything
say-
this week?
Yeah, I did watch something.
Sure.
Toy Story 4.
Yes.
Not a fan.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, neither was I.
It was okay. It's fine for one watch. But here is where,
Yeah.
and I talked to my I have 4 teenage kids.
Nice.
We talked about this afterward, and we really found it was an unnatural turn when Woody surrendered his voice box or whatever that was. That there was never really a repentance in the doll that was trying to bully her way into that.
Right. That's a good point.
And all of a sudden, it's just like so. For us, it was a sign of weakness in Woody. It wasn't heroic, triumphant. It was weak. It was in lots of levels. It was a weak turning point.
Yeah.
And it almost gives this message of like, if you feel bad for someone, then let them manipulate you.
Yeah, and I ultimately, like, my big issue with it was, I just didn't like Woody's ending. Like, I
that's what I had problems with.
didn't like that he's not a part of the room anymore. He's not with his, and it kind of, on my second watching, I got a little better with that. I was like, okay, I get it. He's the post credits or the mid credit scenes, I think salvage it a little bit, because now they're Woody's on this mission at the carnival to unite toys with children, and so that felt in line with Woody's stuff, but Woody leaving his kid, I don't know, to me that was just, I struggled with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Cool.
So do you have a shout out?
What's my shout out?
Well,
What's
you
that?
can just anyone who you know or don't like or don't know, you can say, hey, I don't know, you shout out at them.
Shout out a name.
Yeah. Someone you know who you like or don't like.
Chid Smith.
Oh my goodness, this is like such a high pressure moment.
Do you even listen to our show? Like, what this is? We do this every week, man. Come on.
Oh my goodness, I'm unprepared. I feel like I'm back in high school. Goodness. I don't know. I want to give a shout out to my Twitter peeps. There's a good portion of Blue Jays Twitter out there, and let me just say, I'm just gonna look quick at my notifications and see if I can find someone. Patrick on Twitter. Let me see if I can just really quickly, guys, see if I can get his handle up there.
Okay.
Patrick, where is he at? So Patrick P Not. Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing, guys. I am failing here.
Wow.
I'm holding the phone with one hand and typing with the wrong
man.
one and right clicking on a MacBook, and anyway, okay, so it's P Naught, so PNAUGHT 13 on the Twitter, Patrick, and he's a big fan of Blue Jays Dad. He came through Minneapolis on a road trip from BC to Toronto, gave me a call. Do you want to go for lunch, Blue Jays Dad?
That's so cool.
And we went to Chipotle and had a burrito, and he brought me some Blue Jays Ziploc bags.
Nice.
Definitely something you cannot get in the USA. And so Patrick, just giving you a shout out here.
Patrick, you're a stand-up guy, Patrick.
He sounds like a homie. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Patrick liked one of our tweets. Is that a thing that you do? Or is it called liking when it's on Twitter?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He saw what I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So that's a good shout out, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I did it right.
yeah, that works. Well, guys, that'll do it for us. Thank you so much for coming and listening to us. Thank you, Blue Jays Dad, for
Thank you, Blue Jays
putting up
Dad.
with this.
Yeah, we very much appreciate it.
And
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
yeah, no worries. So reminder, sign up for Patreon. Get yourself some chocolate. And 2 to 2.5 hours of bonus content every month for the low price of $1.
Yep.
Like, I can't, it's $1. Blue Jay's dad right now is sitting in a coffee shop that sells coffee for $37 a coffee.
That's a lie, Stephen.
If he can,
A lie.
If he can do that, then then anyone can afford $1. Not anyone. Now we're getting political. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
See ya.
See ya. Thanks for listening.